Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Alonso Rodriguez. I'm a professional slackliner. Welcome to part 3 of the How to Slackline series, where we're gonna go over basic techniques on a small slackline at the park like this. If you don't have a line yet, that's not a problem. I'll link both of my previous videos down in the description below, so watch those videos and come back when you've got a line set up in the park so we can go over this together. So if you haven't done so already, guys, do me a huge favor, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell down below so you don't miss whenever I post. We're currently on part 3 of this series. There are many more to come, and I just really appreciate you for doing that for me. It helps me out a lot. As a complete beginner, you want to set up a line that you could stand up on from the ground. Now, you'll notice this one's a little under chest height for me, so this is actually a little high, but I rigged a little bit longer than a super beginner line, so I had to do this. But ideally, you'd want it around like waist high. Now this one, because it's longer, I can actually pull it down and step up on it fairly comfortably. You'll notice I'm not struggling at all to stand in this position. I can push it down and do whatever I need to do. For the very first thing, as a beginner, you want to just get your foot on there. So I'm gonna go ahead, grab my foot, pick it up onto the line. Now this is my dominant foot, and I want my knee to be lined up with the line. You're looking at me and I look really stable, but as a beginner, because you don't have the muscle memory built up quite yet, your foot's gonna look more like this. It's gonna be going crazy. It's just gonna be doing a lot of things, and it's gonna scare you a little bit. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't let it do that. Just know that that's completely normal as a beginner and that you will build that muscle memory. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna demonstrate it, and then I'm gonna tell you all of the little things you should be focusing on when doing something like this. So as a beginner, this is what your first stance should look like. So foot goes up on the line, you slowly ease your weight onto it, and the other foot stays off. So you'll notice I'm not actually throwing my left foot on the line, and that's for a reason, and we're gonna go over that right now. So tip number 1 as a beginner, your eyes. Your eyes are very, very important. Most beginners, when I see them hop on a line, they look down at their foot. They're looking down at their foot and where it is. Now, looking down at your foot isn't gonna help you. I mean, it's a 1-inch line. Feel it. You can feel that it's under your foot. You don't need to see it there. In fact, watching the line move underneath you, it's gonna cause you to get dizzy, and it's gonna get you disoriented pretty quickly. Instead, where you wanna be looking is over at the anchor at some fixed point. Find a funny looking tree on the spot, find something that stands out, and just focus on it. So that's step 1. Making sure you're focused on a fixed point that isn't gonna make you dizzy or is gonna disorient you in any way. Step 2, how do I place my feet? This is a good question, and honestly, this one's a little more about comfort than technique. People do it many different ways, but I'm gonna show you how I like to do it. So I'm gonna take this camera here. So when I put my foot up on a line, I like to have my big toe on it and then my heel lined up with it. That's kind of where my center of balance is on my foot. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, that's okay. I know some people that do it with their next 2 toes and their big toes hanging off the line. I know some people that do it sideways like this. Just do whatever feels comfortable for you. There is no right or wrong way to do this step, but this is how I like to do it. That brings me to step 3. Step 3 is good posture all the time. Just like you want good posture in normal everyday life. You know, you want to be standing up straight. You don't want to be like this. You want to be standing up straight. It's the same thing on a slack line. So when you're standing, and again, this kind of happens when beginners start to look down. They'll look down and simultaneously slouch like this, and they're like this, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to slouch over. You want to stand up straight, focus on what you're doing, and just keep your posture really good. This will be an important step for slacklining. Okay, step number 4. This one may seem a little obvious, but it's much easier said than done. What about my arms? What are my arms supposed to do? Do I keep them here? Do I go like this? Do I go like this? What do I do? This one's a little different among people, but your arms are your major points of balance. You'll never see a slackliner walking with their hands down because it makes it easier. In fact, they'll only do this as a challenge. So you want your arms up. Now, tips to this, your shoulders, you don't want to keep your shoulders tight. You want your shoulders nice and relaxed, as well as your elbows, as well as your wrists. You want everything nice and relaxed. You'll use them, but in a relaxed manner. You don't want to be looking like this. You want to nice and relaxed. So I'll kind of demonstrate that. So foot on the line. Before you stand, hands up and just nice and relaxed. You'll notice my wrists are really relaxed and I'm really calm right now. That's everything. Now all you need to do is stand up, and this is a little bit difficult for people because they've got all the steps down, but they just cannot commit to actually standing on a line. They'll look a lot like this. They'll go for it and just come right back down. That's because you're just scared. That's normal. The line's wiggling, but you just have to commit to it. Very, very gently start to stand all the way up on that right foot and make sure you go for it. Get all your weight on your foot or your left foot if that's the dominant foot, but get all your weight on your dominant foot and just go for it. And even if you can hold that for 2 seconds, that's fine. I want to talk about why I don't put my left foot on the line when I'm teaching beginners. Now, normally when you're walking a slack line, your arms are your major points of balance, and that's about all you've got. But when you're a beginner and you've got a short line like this, you actually have a third point of balance, and that's that other leg. So by keeping that third leg off, I can lean really far to the right and stay on the line just by sticking that left foot out a little bit. I'll just demonstrate that really quick. So if I lean really far to the right, I can just stick that leg out, and it's an extra point of balance for me. So practice that for a little bit, and once you're finally able to stand on the line, you're able to take your very first step. So one thing to not do is you're standing on your dominant foot and you want to take that first step. Most people get very eager and just slam into it. That's very wrong. You're probably gonna fall if you miss the line or if you step too hard. The key is to be nice and gentle. The weight transition from one foot to the other should be nice. Like, imagine like you're stepping over some broken glass and you don't want to cut your feet. So you step up onto your line, and rather than just slamming like that, you want to just do nice and gentle like that. Nice and gentle. In fact, feel for the line with your other foot, and once you've got it, go for it. Feel, go for it. Because like I said, you want to keep your vision focused on whatever point you've got ahead of you. You don't want to be looking down for your feet. So you just want to very carefully look for the foot and gently step. One other thing I want to emphasize is working the non-dominant foot. So for me, when I first started, I really struggled to take the second step because for a brief second, you're transitioning your weight from your non-dominant foot only onto the other one. And that just feels really strange to have all your weight on the non-dominant foot. So starting from the stand, if you take that first step and just stay on the non-dominant foot for a little while, this could really help strengthen the muscles in that leg and get the muscle memory in tune with what you need to do. So spend time on both legs and really feel it out. You'll find that the dominant foot is obviously much easier than the non-dominant, but it's important to work both of them. Learning the slackline can be subjective. It's different for everybody. So I've actually got my buddy Mike here, if you can hop on the screen. And he's gonna share with you his tips for beginners because he's been slacklining now for a little while now, and he's a really, really good slackliner. So I'll let Mike take it away with what he's got.
So I find that a lot of beginners, when they try to take their first steps, they tend to really push down on their entire foot like this, and that often makes it start bobbing up and down, gives it a little bit of a bounce. What I find really helps people is transitioning your weight, like Alonzo said, smoothly and slowly, but to think of it kind of like a rocking motion. So I'll place my foot down onto the line, find a comfortable position. Then I slowly, like a rocking motion, transition my weight back to forward or forward to back, depending on what you're most comfortable with. That's subjective. But if you do a rocking motion, just like that, heel, ball, or if I go the other way, ball, heel, whatever you want. Just it's a nice rocking motion when you walk.
So thanks for watching this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, if it helped you, hit those buttons down below, hit the like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell so you don't miss whenever we post. This is only the tip of the iceberg. We're gonna be posting many more videos on this channel. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys soon.